What if the silo was never a refuge, but a filter? Not a sanctuary built to save humanity, but a machine engineered to decide what humanity was allowed to believe. You're watching Screenscope Reviews, where stories aren't just explained, they're exposed. Silo Season 3 isn't extending the mystery. It's putting it on trial. Because the real threat was never the poisoned horizon beyond the hill. It was the ideology inside the walls. A system that trained an entire civilization to fear curiosity more than extinction. Season 2 didn't end with answers. It ended with proof. Juliet Nichols walks beyond the boundary, and she survives. That single act doesn't just rewrite the rules. It proves the rules were always a lie. And inside the silo, Bernard Holland doesn't ask how she lived. He asks something far more revealing, how to ensure no one else ever learns the truth. That's where Season 3 truly begins. This chapter starts dismantling language itself. Safeguard. Stability. Order. Words that sound protective until you realize they exist to justify obedience. The safeguard was never a failsafe. It was a containment protocol, not for bodies, but for thought. For generations, cleaning was sold as redemption. A final service. A chance to die with purpose. But Season 3 reframes it as something colder. Something engineered with precision. The suits weren't faulty. The toxins weren't misunderstood. The ritual wasn't broken. It functioned exactly as designed. Cleaners were never explorers. They were demonstrations. And the screens inside the silo weren't windows, they were mirrors. Carefully curated images showing exactly what fear required people to see. A dead world looping endlessly. Not to warn the population, but to condition it. Because one survivor wouldn't inspire hope. She would dissolve authority. And once that truth settles in, every past execution becomes unbearable. Not tradition. Not necessity. But systemic murder disguised as social cohesion. Violence wrapped in moral language. Death with an instruction manual. Season 3 fractures the narrative in two, and both paths are dangerous. Outside, Juliet isn't just surviving. She's watching. Collecting fragments that point to something far larger than a single silo. Multiple structures. Identical myths. A scalable architecture of fear. A world where information is the rarest, and most lethal, resource left. Inside, Bernard's certainty begins to corrode. Control only works when doubt stays isolated. Once it spreads, it mutates. Conversations shift. Grief hardens into anger. Obedience starts to feel indistinguishable from betrayal. And people begin to realize something devastating. Their loved ones didn't die to protect the future. They died to preserve the narrative. Silo Season 3 is no longer asking how humanity survives. It's asking who gets to define what survival even means. Because when the truth threatens to destroy everything, stability becomes the most seductive lie of all. So here's the question the series can no longer avoid. If exposing reality guarantees collapse, do you still tear the walls down? This is Screenscope Reviews, and once the truth escapes containment, there's no sealing it back in.